In addition to the rings you created in the Tinkercad exercises, try creating some rings of your own. In the design section, we'll click New 3D Design, and I'll drag a hole out in the shape of a cylinder. I'll smooth the sides of the cylinder by dragging the sides slider all the way over until it says 64. And I'll look at the size. This is 20 millimeters in diameter. I would like the ring to fit on my finger, so I'm going to measure my current finger ring, and we can see that the inner diameter is about 21 millimeters. So I'm going to add a millimeter to give me a little bit of space and make this cylindrical hole 22 millimeters in diameter. Now, to see this model more clearly, I'm going to click on orthographic view and look at it from the top. Now I'm going to drag out another cylinder, smooth the sides by sliding the slider all the way to the right. And I want the thickness of the ring to be 2 millimeters. So I need to add 4 millimeters to each side. So it will be 22 plus 2 plus 2 is 26. Right? So it'll be 26 by 26. Now I can select both of these and center them on each other. And while they're both still selected, I can click Group. And I now have a ring that should fit on my finger. I don't want it this tall though, so I'll go ahead and make that 3 millimeters tall. To make sure that the sizing is correct, I would just export this simple ring as an STL file, slice it, and print it. If the ring is too small, then you can come back in and make that inner diameter larger. If it's too large, then you can make it smaller. Once you know you have a basic ring that fits your finger, as shown here, then you can come in and make some more fancy rings. So let's say I click on this and I rotate it 90 degrees. When I do that, it's half below the plane and half above. So I can click and drag the black arrow, or I can click the black arrow and change the distance to 0. There's also a keyboard shortcut where if I click the model and tap the letter D, it'll drop it, so to speak, flat on the work plane. From here, I can add some shapes. Let's say I want a star. I know that this is 26 millimeters up. So I'll grab the black arrow and let's say I'll make it 25 millimeters because I want it to overlap a little bit with the cylindrical ring so that it is one piece. Select both objects, center, and center. The star is too big, of course, so I'm going to click one of the corners while holding down the Shift key. I'll click and reduce the size so that it reduces proportionally. Now I need to select both objects again and recenter. If I tap the F key, it will focus in on both of those objects, and I can see that there's some overlap, so the star is actually attached to the orange ring. Now I could select both of these, group, and then export as an STL and print. Of course, I need to slice it first. For this model, obviously, you would need supports, so you'd have to figure out what the best orientation is for printing this model. I can ungroup those. Let's say I'll select both, copy, and I'll move one of those over to the side and regroup it. So I have that one. But on the copy, now I can choose the star shape and delete that and go in and see if I can find something else that might be fun and creative. Let's say I want a gear up there instead of a star. Again, I can drag this up 25 millimeters. Look at it from the top. Hold down the Shift key on my keyboard, click one of the corners and resize. Then move it over. Select both. Choose the Align tool and click the center dots so that it's aligned. Rotate around and check. That looks fine. Yeah, that's fine. So again, now I can select both of these, group them together, export the selected shape. If I choose everything in the design, then it will export both the ring with the star and the ring with the gear. But if you just want one of those, then you choose that and click STL. And then slice and print. So make up some of your own ring designs, print them out, and take a photograph of them on your ring finger, proving that the sizing is correct. And post your photos to the class discussion topic.